So this will probably sound like a cry for help, but I'm going to talk anyway, and hopefully I can get some points across here that maybe someone can glean some information, some knowledge from, and it can better their day. Hopefully I don't say something completely useless. But anyway, I am in my 30s and I have no idea what I'm doing. I am in a more questionable state than I was in my 20s. I almost feel like a teenager again, which is very strange and kind of concerning because I see a variety of 30-year-olds. And when I say variety, I mean I see 30-year-olds living all sorts of different lifestyles, which in one hand it does feel good. It is empowering because when I see people living all sorts of lives, I can look at myself and be a little bit more comfortable. But as a whole, I feel like I'm I'm a child, dude. Like I feel like mentally I'm still pretty young, but I'm an adult, you see. I'm an adult. And sometimes whenever I'm out and about, it is beneficial to be an adult because people don't really fuck with you. People don't fuck with you if you're an adult. And I think it does help that I am I guess I'm tall. I guess I'm tall. I'm 6'2". I'm not short. I know that, but I've seen tall motherfuckers, and I don't really see myself as tall. I know I'm not short though. So anyway, I'm the 6'2" dude who I look pretty awkward. I'm a pretty awkward looking person. I'm not ugly, but I don't I'm not as put together as other folks are, especially around my age. And all that to say, I feel like I'm barely holding it together in my 30s, especially being unemployed. I feel like my life is nowhere where I wanted it to be, but instead I am living in the consequences of decisions I made years ago. Is that a bad thing? Not necessarily, but I do think about, I guess, what ifs or what would be different. Perhaps that's an unhealthy thought process. I'm not sure. I have a therapist. She's cool. She's pretty cool, but I'm essentially a loser. I consider myself a loser because I don't really have a lot going for me. Not anymore. I did in the past, especially whenever I was coming up through school, coming out of college and stuff. Yeah, I had quite a few things going for me. But here's the thing. Okay, actually, I take that back. No, I'm not taking back the loser part, but I'm taking back the stuff I had going for me. I had stuff going for me professionally, but as far as like, I don't know, something deeper than that, no, I haven't. And this sentiment of purposelessness. Is that a word? Not having a purpose. It's really eating at me, man. It's really eating at me. It's like I understand that you have one life to live. You only have one life to live, so you better not waste that bitch. However, if you have not applied your life and you still haven't, then when are you going to do it? That's what I ask myself. I have ideas. I have an imagination. I like to be creative, but I've literally sat on my ass and have done fuck all. Um, the only time I have ever been productive was whenever I was working. Outside of working, I did nothing. It was weird. Like I feel like this is like a fucked up way of realizing that I'm some mindless drone or I'm meant to be some cog in a machine or something. This sucks, dude. This is crazy. And it doesn't help that America is going straight to hell, with Biden dropping Kamala Harris, I think is going to be the Democratic candidate to run against Trump. All this shit is stupid. All this shit is very very oh, is that how you feel too, buddy? Um yeah, anyway, where was I? My dog distracted me because I think he was bitching about America as well. I think I'm going crazy. I think that I'm going crazy because I've hit my 30s and I'm doing nothing. The one thing that I feel like I've put effort in is to and this all results in said from said effort is working out, working on my health, because there was a point where I hated looking at myself in the mirror, and now I like the progress I've made, but there's still some work that needs to be done. So I'm pretty critical over how I look. Um, and it sucks to have this mentality, dude. It really sucks because again, going back to being in my 30s, it's like, is it too late for me? I should have been doing this stuff. I should have been focusing on my health. Oh, God damn it. Uh-oh. My phone rang. Shit. This will have to be edited out. But anyway, the phone rang. I've lost my thought. Fuck. Yeah. I remember. Yeah, I feel like I'm going crazy because I have all this time. I have my life. I have my brain. I have, my health. And what am I doing? What am I doing? What is it that I'm doing? I just sit here. I'm in a relationship, yeah, but I don't do anything there. I have friends, but I don't do anything with them. I just exist. And I get that this could be a manifestation of depression, but I'm not trying to get on any medication for it. I'm actually pretty terrified of getting on medication again. I've been on medication before, and I don't feel like it did anything except for making me feel like I wasn't in control of my own actions and thoughts. I didn't enjoy being on medication. That was, I would say, about 10 years ago or so. And for some reason, my phone keeps ringing. So hopefully that didn't interrupt my recording here. I'm thinking, thinking. I left a voicemail. Anyway, yeah, so I'm going crazy. I'll have to go back and edit this stuff. And if I can upload this on my MacBook, I can probably do it pretty easily. Anyway, yeah, I'm going crazy. I'm going crazy because I am in I'm far away from home now. Well, not far away. I would say about 7, 8, 9 hours, and I'm just existing. I'm existing, and by existing, I'm slowly dying, fulfilling no purpose except for sustaining my life, sustaining myself. I take care of my dog, that's pretty much all I do. I don't even, I take him on his walks, and I let him play with other dogs and stuff around the neighborhood. But I don't, I don't have a purpose. I'm not working toward anything. I'm not building toward anything. I was saving up for a house, but due to me being unemployed, I'm having to live off my savings, which I'm thankful that I can do, but I don't want to keep doing it. So I'm looking for jobs again. And given that I've been out of a job for a whole year, that shit's kind of tumultuous. And then, even on top of that, I look at that year of being unemployed and I ask myself, what the fuck was I doing? What the fuck have I done? What have I contributed? What have I created? What have I built? And the thing is that I have dabbled in things. I was teaching myself how to draw for like a good 5, 6 months maybe. And that was fun, but I stopped because that shit was starting to get on my nerves. I wasn't drawing for fun, and I guess I burnt myself out on that. Um, and then I started making very small browser games using straight up JavaScript. That was cool, but my shit was whack, bro. Like the thing with game development that got me was that I was making small games just to make stuff, and it was cool. However, I wasn't making what I wanted to make. That shit was whack. That shit was so whack. And sitting down and working on the stuff that I want to work on, bro, that I was a software engineer for 8 years, and I do think that drastically helped me out. But even that shit was still hard. That shit was still hard. And last night, before I went to bed, I wanted to critically think. I laid down and I started critically thinking about what is it, not only what is it that I wanted to make, but what would it be? Like tangibly, what form would this idea crystallize into? Like, what would be the end product of my idea? Would that product be something I can just hand to someone? And if so, what does that look like? Are we are we talking about like like 'cause I'm thinking like an indie game, for example, right? You can go on Steam, you purchase it, download it, play it. All right. So asking myself these questions, I was like, all right, Jared, um, what are we doing? What do we want? Because we have ideas. Dude, you are not having me bitch and moan, are you? No. Um, what was I saying? Shit, he distracts the fuck out of me because he's so funny. Yeah, I was thinking about what I wanted to create because I can have all these ideas, but if they don't manifest into anything worthwhile, if I don't put in the work to bring these ideas into reality, then they're just ideas and they're worth less than a fart in the wind, to be real with you, because at least a fart has methane gas, and I think some shit in nature uses that. I don't know. But an idea that goes nowhere, that's nothing, man. That's just, dopamine hits in your brain that you feel good whenever you're just sitting down, daydreaming, and then, oh, you had a good idea. You feel good, and then you go back to living your dumbass reality. I want to do more than that, and I'm tired of being like a fucking sad sack victim, bro. Like I really hate that. Because here's the thing about me is that I actually have energy to put into shit. I actually do. Objectively, if I look at how I move, how I act, and what my interests are, I actually will put in work. I actually will put in work if I give a fuck. But for the most part, I don't give a fuck. Not in a good way. Not in a good way. Like I navigate the world afraid to hurt people who are close to me, hurting their feelings. I am afraid of failure. I'm neurotic as fuck. I never feel like I'm good enough. And by having this negative outlook, rather, having this negative outlook and these negative perspectives on myself, I guess I just convinced myself that I don't do shit. I convinced myself not to do shit. I convinced myself to stay idle and think about what I could be doing or what I want to do or what could be done as opposed to the actual doing, as opposed to actually doing shit. I wasn't expecting this recording to be a call to arms, but it's starting to come across like that, and a part of me's kind of afraid to kind of end it there. But I am about to go to the gym. I'm procrastinating on that, and I kind of want to get some lifts in so I can say I did it. That's one thing about going to the gym I find interesting for me currently is I go to the gym and it's regardless of where my brain's at or where my mood is at, I just kind of go. Like I just throw in my AirPods and I just go at it. So that makes me feel good. However, going to the gym really hasn't other than helping me lose weight and getting more of a fit, I guess, it really hasn't helped me out yet. You know, I would love to go to the doctor and to see where my vitals are. I haven't been to the doctor in a while. Since I don't have a job, I've pretty much have been avoiding going to the doctor. I know I could apparently get on Obamacare or something, but I'm holding out until I can find me a job, and maybe that's my own arrogance there, but. I'm grinding, dude. I'm grinding. Maybe this is all one gigantic cope, but I am grinding. I do grind. And man, I feel I sound so much like a fucking like loser, but I just want to put my energy in and see something cool happen. And hearing myself talk about these things and being like, convincing myself that I shouldn't be doing things. That don't make any sense because it's like I I'm not doing anything. Like even if my shit sucks, like at least you tried, bro, At least you tried. Better than nothing, man. I don't know. I like writing. Um, I used to write a lot, and when I do write every now and then, it's a fun time for me. I ramble a lot when I write, so the editing process is something I'm starting to enjoy a little bit more. Um, but yeah, anyway, that's it.